Welcome to the video. I did a live stream yesterday where I was doing some of my first Ultra League battles of the season, and you can watch that live stream. I have it linked in the comment below or in the description if you want to. But I just wanted to show set 2 and 3 here, and yeah, I haven't really gotten to use my Shadow Skuntank in Ultra League. I think I built it a couple seasons ago, but I just never really showcased it on a team because I haven't had much luck really using it to success. But it seems that in the current format of Ultra League with the move update, it actually feels pretty strong. I mean, I'm sure it was alright in the past, but it feels really good now. So the idea behind my team was I didn't want to be weak to Feraligatr, and I didn't want to lose to a fairy type in the back either. So as you can see, I do have 2 poison types in my back line in the form of Shadow Skuntank and Venusaur, and I'm leading Tapu Fini with Nature's Madness. So the Registeel is can be a little problematic with my team, but I found that Venusaur seems to be the best Pokemon to switch in on Reggie, just purely due to the fact that I can resist both of its charge attacks, and Lock-On's not really going to do a lot of damage as a fast attack. And on top of that, I can still, even though it resists my attacks, I feel like it kind of balances out where I'm getting off more Frenzy Plants, and it still does a decent chunk of damage to Registeel. So over time, Venusaur can actually kind of really put up a really good fight against the Registeel. So that's one thing I've realized as I was playing through yesterday, that with this team you kind of have to rely on Tapu Fini ideally to like just chip away with Water Gun on Reggie, but Venusaur is the best to just kind of like eat some charge moves and not have to worry about shielding. But yeah, as you can see in this battle, crazy good alignment here. I mean, I shielded, but clearly I didn't have to. I honestly couldn't even remember. I'm about to look. Does Primarina even get Ice Beam? Like, I was thinking maybe it does, but you know what? It might not even get this move at all and go. But yeah, so pretty much regardless of that fact, because I do commit that shield, a lot of times if I do commit a shield in an unfavorable situation like that where I didn't have to, I'll usually try to generate some extra energy before throwing the charge move in that scenario. So, Primarina, let me look at that up real quick. Does it get Ice Move? It doesn't even get an Ice Move. It does get Psychic though. Okay. But yeah, it definitely was not at a Psychic at that point. Anyways. Now I know not to ever shield there. But it doesn't really matter. I mean, this guy was running some spice regardless. So, fortunately, I can just kinda get to my charge move here with Skuntank and no real issues here, thankfully. Alright, in the next battle, Giratina altered form. So I'll stay in. Shadow Claw variant is actually pretty scary because it will be able to rack up a good amount of damage against me with the neutral ghost move. And I decided just to throw Nature's Madness. And you know, in this scenario, they might not shield, it depends, but it is such a bulky Pokemon, as you can see. It can actually still take that move, so probably not a good idea to bait, because if I would have bait here, I would have been in a really bad situation. So I decided I'm just gonna let this go through. It does end up being a bait move of Dragon Claw, which I can eat that to the face, and I get off another Nature's Madness, and it ends up being Registeel. But remember I was talking about this matchup earlier, so I bring in Skuntank here, but this is before I realized, this is actually one of the matches where I realized, oh, I need to bring in Venusaur on the Registeel matchup, because see how I have to commit the shield here with Zap Cannon, and then on top of that, they end up getting the attack drop, so I'm not really threatening damage at this point either, so that's kind of bad for me. So I bring in Venusaur, and as you can see, I can eat that Zap Cannon pretty nicely. I can at least take 2 safely. And yeah, look, I mean, if I would have just brought in Venusaur originally, I could have been a little bit better on energy in this matchup. They do end up getting an attack drop here, which is a little unlucky on my end, but Yeah, I think that in itself was kind of brutal. But yeah, because of that, I don't think I'm going to be able to overcome the battle, because at this point, the Machamp can spam 2 cross chops, and that's pretty much all it needs. And even at this point, it's like, maybe I should have just let it go, but yeah, I really had no win con realistically, so this is pretty much what I had to do. Go for the shield, and then yeah, they have the move upon me coming back in, and they win Sam. I guess I could have just let it go, maybe. Actually, maybe that was the play, because I had that energy on Venusaur already. But regardless, that was like kind of like a learning experience altogether. I mean, to be fair, it's like maybe I did need Venusaur against Machamp, but I feel like regardless, I would have still been in a much better situation. Let's see. So I get the Gallade lead, and I play this a little sloppy. I'm not trying to take these. I guess I could have bait here also, but I was trying to catch a Leaf Blade, and thankfully I do capture it. I wasn't playing it sloppy at the beginning. I actually did want to play it like trade the shield. I wanted to trade shield and then catch a Leaf Blade. That was the plan. And in comes Giratina, and that's perfect because I am able to get to that crunch. Well, I'm like already sitting on it. But the problem is this does end up being the Dragon Breath variant of Giratina, which is pretty scary, but they end up just wanting to preserve that shield, which, you know, unfortunately is frightening still. And they have for Alligator, and the Ice Beam is going to be really scary. But I have to get, I pretty much got fortunate that I didn't throw my move and they caught it on the Gallade. Because they switched the Gallade, it actually puts me on the edge where I'm able to be at that double Frenzy plant before they can spam to another move. Or farm me down with Shadow Claw. So GG's. Galarian Moltres seems pretty good in Ultra League right now, but I do not have a Galarian Moltres. I might have to try using my incense, my daily incense again, because I really haven't been using it for a while. Licky Licky here. Pretty cool. Also feeling pretty strong here in the Ultra League. I decided to stay in, trade some damage, and then I'm going to bring in Skuntank. And this is looking pretty good. I think I decided just to let it go through. I think they're able to get to one. Okay, no, they switch out. So they bring back in Moltres, and honestly, I was like, I bet you even Crunch is still going to hurt a bit, and I do end up getting the defense drop, which I was hoping would also occur, because it does make a pretty significant difference here. The fact that I get it twice was crazy. I don't even know what the moveset on Galarian Moltres is, if I'm being honest. I had no idea, and yeah, Ancient Power I could have definitely taken at least one, but I thought, okay, now here comes the banger, and no, it was just another Ancient Power. I'm like, oh my gosh, I can't believe I double shielded against this thing, but yeah, I wasn't too sure, and fortunately, I don't remember what the back Pokemon is, but I feel like Venusaur is able to handle it. Okay, yeah, it ends up being Clefable, so I'm pretty fortunate that it is Clefable, because Clefable, like I said, I think it does get Psychic. It does get Psychic if I'm not mistaken, and I haven't really seen them running Psychic in Ultra League. Let me look. I feel like it does. I feel like I've seen it on Clefable before. But yeah, that alone, yeah, they do get Psychic. I mean, Meteor Mash could be kind of scary, but Venusaur outpaces there. So 4-1 set, and really cool. If you're watching this video, please hit that like button. It does help my content out a lot here on YouTube. And if you like GBL content, also consider subscribing. If you're new here, it does. I pretty much am going to be posting at least like once or twice a week moving forward, and a couple live streams occasionally on the channel as well if you want to swing by and say hi. So all right, let's see. This is the final set I'm showcasing in the video. Tapu Fini against Scizor. And when I was streaming, I I fall for this all the time. I keep forgetting that Scizor and like some of the family get Trailblaze. And I realized like as I didn't shield, like, wait, does this get this gets Trailblaze, right? And of course I get smacked with it, but I guess it still kind of worked out in my favor because they have Swampert and I have Venusaur. So that feels pretty good. And they switched Giratina with Dragon Breath, which can be scary, but I am going to bring in Skuntank and just commit the shields. I think that's what I was thinking. The thing about this though, this person actually played this pretty slick, I think, if I remember correctly. If this is the same battle. Yeah, I pretty much have to commit these shields, and I'm throwing Crunch, and it's going to hit for a lot of damage, but it's not going to be enough to take out Giratina. So I switch out, and I preserve my Skuntank with a little bit of energy, thankfully, and that Earthquake smacks me. So I decide, since they threw Earthquake, I'm going to generate some extra energy in case I can get to the Frenzy and just finish off Giratina, because if Giratina farms Venusaur and I can't do anything, then they just win there, more than likely. So GG's, close battle. For Alligator lead, so pretty good lead even for Tapu, but I decided to safe swap out into Skuntank just because I thought I could like scare out the Feraligatr and just have some sort of like advantageous, like, you know, force some sort of switch out that could maybe be good for Fini to generate extra energy on. So they end up bringing in a Lemon Buck, and I do call this Sludge Wave. And, you know, I could have just thrown Crunch here, but they make a good call and they don't shield. And I decided not to shield also. They do throw Dark Pulse, which isn't beneficial for me. And they end up wanting to preserve Muck, and they bring in Feraligatr, and I just throw the Trailblaze immediately. And I think I just decided to keep Skuntank in here and just sack it. And then I think I bring in Venusaur potentially, thinking, oh, I can get some extra energy. I'm gonna let this, I think it's Ice Beam, go through. No, I want to see if it's Ice Beam. It ends up being Crunch, which is pretty good, but as you can see, like, the game stutters when there's like charge moves generated, and as you saw, like, they were able to, I don't know what was going on there, honestly. I was kind of like, I thought it was weird. But they have Mewtwo in the back, so this catch they did is actually very significant, because now I'm going to bring in Fini. But yeah, I think at this point they're able to hit me with the Side Strike, and they catch this move also. So it's like they caught two moves, and it's like pretty significant, honestly. Like, really great plays. Yeah, the fact that I wasn't able to connect that Nature's Madness into Mewtwo in general is bad, but yeah, the switches in this match were really good on my opponent's end. I fell victim to it. Pretty much like the whole reason why I kind of lost this battle is that alone. But yeah, as you can see, I'm just gonna go down to the Armored Mewtwo here, and GG. But that's the cool thing about this team that I was playing, was even the matches I lost had win cons. It really came down to me, like, how I played it out. Guzzlord lead, pretty good situation for me having Tapu Fini. I'm not particularly afraid of this Pokemon's moves, and I really don't want to play the bait game here. Even, like, you know, I'd assume they'd want to shield this, but I guess they assumed I was gonna bait, and I just one-shot it with Nature's Madness. In comes Feraligatr. No point in me shielding, in my opinion. I just figured I can take at least a move and go for another move back, aka Nature's Madness. And at that point I decided to switch, because I can maybe force a switch or generate some extra energy. Maybe Fini is something that I want to keep in the back line. And as you can see, they end up having Skeledirge. So I figure, like, they're going to try to bait me to some degree here, and that is the call. I am able to take that first Disarming Voice, and yeah, Skeledirge could be a little scary against the team I'm running, but I think at the same time, it's like, it really comes down to like shields and HP. I think this person force quit the game. I don't know what they were doing, honestly. I think they gave up once they realized they had no shields, and I just had a positive switch in and matchup in general. Alright, so Swampert lead. Okay, wait, maybe this is a match I was thinking of that was like kind of insane. So Swampert lead, it could be Sludge Wave, but I decided to just risk it for the biscuit at first. And it is a Hydro Cannon bait, so looking pretty good right out the gate. I go for Nature's Madness, and I decide it's probably more worth committing the shield here because an Earthquake will even be lethal. So it is Sludge Wave, so I got kind of lucky. And unfortunately here, like, I clicked the wrong move, and I don't know, like, I thought that was insane that they didn't shield that, like, personally. Like, I thought that was crazy. Like, 100% that I had the energy for Nature's Madness, and they didn't shield. Like, crazy. But fortunately for me, Skuntank just runs amok here on the back line. And even Virizion can't really do anything to Venusaur whatsoever, so it doesn't really matter. And legitimately, Skuntank just like tears this team apart in the end game. I was really, like, when I was playing this, I was blown away that Skuntank was able to just single-handedly finish off that battle. Really cool. Alright, and also if you don't know this, Skuntank is actually my best buddy. It's XL Skuntank. I have to have it as my buddy to reach 2500 CP. So in comes, okay, then I think this might be one of the last battle. Maybe this is the last. Well-written lead versus Tapu Fini. So I don't want to bait. I'm just gonna throw Nature's Madness and just not commit a shield back. And looking pretty good. I'm just going to let it go to the Earthquake. That's fine, in my opinion. I think I bring in Skuntank because I thought I could, you know, I don't want to get hit by, I think I was just going to take an Icicle Sphere to the face, is what I'm trying to say. And they end up having Goodrub, which I thought was kind of scary but good also because I'm afraid of the Dragon Breath, but fortunately its charge moves can't do anything to Venusaur. They end up having Cresselia on the team as well, which is another situation where Venusaur can shine. It's actually one of the main reasons I like running Confusion Cresselia in Great League, is for these type of matchups, because as you can see, this Psychic Pokemon can't even beat a Poison type Pokemon because of its moveset. I mean, I'm a Poison type that can resist both of its charge moves. Like, I mean, being a Grass also helps with the Grass Knot, but yeah, legitimately, it's why. I mean, I wouldn't run Confusion Cresselia in Ultra League. It's a gimmick. I feel like it works more in Great League. But yeah, this ended up being pretty insane. But I do have the Frenzy locked and loaded here, and I can just finish up the battle. But yeah, Venusaur ending up to be pretty dang good also on the team, as you can see, like really just like single-handedly at times, like taking care of the rest of the back line. But yeah, thanks for tuning into this video. With that being said, ladies and gentlemen, the Sass Squad is getting stronger each and every day. You have a good morning, evening, afternoon, wherever you're tuning in. I'll catch you in the next one. And if you'd like to watch more Go Battle League content from me, consider watching this video right here or this video right here.